Did you know that by 2025, video content is projected to make up to 80% of all internet traffic? Video consumption is skyrocketing and the demand for skilled editors is growing with it. Whether you want to become a professional editor, freelancer, or simply create amazing content for social media, you are in the right place. In 2018, I began video editing for content creation. I thought it would be easy and I could do it alone. 2 years later, I posted my first edited video online, and boy, it was horrible. So I decided to learn video editing. I got overwhelmed by the endless tutorials and confusing techniques. The softwares were too complex, and I lacked a support system to guide me through the video editing journey. Nevertheless, through hard work and learning from industry pros, I've gone from a frustrated beginner to expert with over 300 videos under my belt. I even created my own YouTube channel, which I'll share with you. In all this, I always wished for a single all-in-one resource that could guide me from beginner to expert. That's why I built this course. This course is the result of those years of trial, error, and success.
3. Action.
Hello friends, my name is Emmanuel Noel, and welcome to Video Editing Mastery course. In this course, we help beginners in video editing like you go from having no experience to becoming skilled professional video editors so that they can make money editing videos without feeling overwhelmed by technical tools or softwares. This is the only course you'll ever need to transform your editing skills and change your life. Video editing is one of the fastest growing skills, with no signs of slowing down. Everyone needs a video editor. Video is everywhere. You are watching one right now. With this course as your guide, you will expertise this skill. I promise. Every minute you watch will be worth it. We won't just teach you how to master video editing. We'll show you how to land paying clients and turn your video editing skills into a profitable venture. Listen to this. According to Glassdoor.com, the average video editor makes between $51,000 to $93,000 per year, and you could too. So, watch this video to the end. Here is what's in store for you. By the end of this course, you will be able to edit videos like a pro using the most popular video editing softwares. Softwares that are used by big popular brands like NBC Universal, Walt Disney, and Ford Motor Company, just to mention a few. Create compelling, eye-catching content for YouTube, social media, or your clients. Master transitions, effects, sound design, and storytelling to keep your audience engaged. Gain the confidence to monetize your video editing skills in a $1.94 billion industry, and how to stand out as a video editor in a world where video is king. Master AI-driven video editing to effortlessly create professional, cutting-edge videos and streamline your workflow. Equip yourself with practical strategies to promote your videos and grow your video editing business through social media ads, email marketing, engagement, paid ads, and networking. And that's not all. We know you need support. That's why we are building a dedicated private community for people like you and me. This is where we can share our challenges and success stories, plus we can all get the much needed support from fellow students like you. And the fun part of all this, you won't need any expensive or complex tools or gadgets. Everything is either completely free or super affordable. We will do all these things just from a laptop, meaning you can do this thing from anywhere around the world. To be honest, in the process of creating this course, I have learned a lot myself. Creating this course has taken us months of hard work and commitment, like never before. Above all, it has been an exciting journey. We will indeed share some of the lessons we learned throughout this course. We will take you through the back door and show you the behind the scenes, what we do to edit faster, better, and save you a lot of hassle. We'll also show you what other professional video editors don't want you to know. I know you're probably wondering, this sounds exciting, but I'm not tech savvy. Well, this course is beginner friendly, and we start with the absolute basics. No prior technical knowledge is required. Each lesson is straightforward, and we guide you through every step. Or maybe you're thinking, video editing software is too complex and you lack creative vision or skills to produce professional videos? Well, video editing softwares may seem complex at first, but with guided steps and practice, you will quickly master the essentials. You don't need to master everything at once. You start with the basics and build your skills over time. Creativity is a skill you can develop. This course will teach you techniques to promote professional videos, even if you're starting from scratch. Or maybe you're thinking, I don't have enough time to learn. We get it. Everyone is busy these days. That's why this course is designed to fit into your schedule. Each lesson is no more than 5 minutes. So you can learn in small chunks. You can pace yourself and there is no rush to completing everything at once. Sounds exciting, right? That's because it is. This course is packed with value, practical lessons, and step-by-step guidance. Your journey to video editing mastery starts now. Let's get right into it. What is video editing? It is the art of turning raw footage into a polished final product. Think of it like putting together a puzzle. Each piece is important, but it's how you arrange them that creates the full picture. From YouTube videos to Instagram Reels to corporate videos and films, editing is where the magic happens. You take simple clips and craft them into something meaningful and powerful. The first type of video content is YouTube video content. YouTube is one of the most popular platforms for video content. From vlogs to tutorials, gaming videos, and product reviews, YouTube has it all. What makes YouTube special is the wide variety of content and direct connection between creators and their audience. YouTube videos are usually more personal, informal, and engaging. The key to editing for YouTube is keeping the content fast-paced, interesting, and audience-focused. You want to keep the viewer's attention from start to finish. So you'll often see jump cuts to cut out unnecessary pauses, text overlays to emphasize key points, and background music to keep the energy high. And there is nobody that does this best than MrBeast, the best YouTuber in the world. Here's a clip from one of the videos where he recreated the movie Squid Game. Notice the quick jump cuts.
I recreated every single set from Squid Game in real life, and whichever one of these 456 people survives the longest wins 456 grand.
Here's a key takeaway. YouTube rewards personality and consistency. If you're editing for a YouTuber, remember that their personality is part of the brand. So your editing needs to highlight that. The second type of video content is corporate video content. This type of video content is often used by businesses for marketing, internal training, or presentations. Corporate videos need to be professional, clean, and to the point. They often include product demos, explainer videos, and company profiles. Corporate clients are looking for polished, high-quality work that represents their brand's image. You'll be working with more formal scripts and structured content. The pacing will be slower than YouTube videos because the focus is on clarity and information. You'll also use professional transitions and subtle effects. No flashy graphics here, just smooth and clean edits. Now, remember, corporate videos are all about brand reputation. So your editing needs to match the company's tone and professionalism. Attention to detail is key here, especially when working with company logos, branded colors, and fonts. The third and the final type of video content is social media video content. This is one of the fastest growing types of contents in the world today. This includes platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. These videos are short, often between 15 seconds to 1 minute, and are designed to grab attention instantly. Social media is all about being short, snappy, and engaging. The first few seconds are crucial to hook the viewers. You'll use quick cuts, dynamic transitions, and often add captions or text overlays since many users watch videos with sound off. Here are a couple of videos. Notice the quick cuts and dynamic transitions in them. The main goal of social media content is virality. Your editing should be fun, creative, and experimental. Social media platforms are perfect for trying out bold effects, fast-paced editing, and unique storytelling techniques. Now you understand the main types of video content: YouTube, corporate, and social media. Each has its own style and audience. As a video editor, your role is to shape the raw footage to fit these platforms. The more types of content you can edit, the more valuable you become. Whether working for a brand, a YouTuber, or an influencer, you're set to hone your skills. Next up, let's explore the importance of editing in storytelling. Quick reminder guys, don't miss out. Make sure to sign up for the waiting list to be the first to know when the full course is released. Here is the exciting part. For a limited time, we'll be randomly selecting 2 lucky winners every month to receive full access of the entire course for free, along with all the valuable resources that come with it. Exciting, right? This is a chance to get ahead. So if you want to be part of this exciting opportunity, comment "I want the course" below. Go ahead, join the waiting list now for exclusive content and early access when the full course comes out. The link to joining the waiting list is right below this video. Finally, we have created a dedicated resource center where you can find all the resources and materials plus free downloadables mentioned throughout this course. Okay, back to the course. As we mentioned earlier on, the pivotal role of editing is storytelling. Editing isn't just about stitching clips together. It's about crafting a powerful and engaging narrative that transforms your video from average to extraordinary. Let's break it down. First off, editing shapes the narrative. Editing allows you to transform raw footage into compelling story. Every shot, cut, and transition affects how viewers perceive the narrative. For instance, what comes to mind when you watch this video? Do you feel moved?
How to travel Cebu, Philippines. A place with the bluest of waters, inhabited by the world's largest fish. A place with adventures so good you feel like you're in a movie. And the place that had me fall in love with getting lost as a bro.
The sequence and pacing of clips in a travel vlog like this one creates excitements or reflection, influencing mood and engagement of your audience. Second, pacing creates emotion. Check out this video.
Welcome to China.
I want you to notice the fast cuts and quick transitions that creates a series of energy and urgency. Look at this other video.
The most unbelievable landscapes. Switzerland is a real-life fairy tale. It's constantly at the top of the list for having the country with the highest quality of life, but also the top of the list for the most expensive. On top of all this, Switzerland is a neutral country. They don't pick sides in wars, and they remain peaceful by any means necessary.
In contrast to the first video, for more emotional or dramatic scenes, you'll want to slow things down, let the audience absorb the moment. One of the most critical aspects of storytelling in editing is pacing. The speed at which you present the scenes, the length of your cuts, and even the pauses you leave between clips can drastically affect the viewer's emotional response. Pacing is what controls the rhythm of your story, and it's your job as the editor to make sure it fits the tone of the content. Thirdly, emotions through cuts and transitions. At the right time to bring out the emotions. Every time you make a cut, you're making a decision that impacts the story. The right cut at the right moment can heighten emotions, while a poorly timed cut can break the flow. It's essential to understand that cuts and transitions are not just technical tools. They're storytelling devices. A well-placed cut can build tension, and a smooth transition can make a moment feel seamless and natural. Always ask yourself, how does this edit serve the story? Fourth, editing controls the viewer's perspective. As an editor, you also control the viewer's perspective. Through shot selection and the order of scenes, you decide what the audience focuses on and when. Here is Casey Neistat's video. Watch how he uses different angles to change your perspective.
Toilet. Wow!
By choosing which shot comes next, you can reveal information gradually, creating suspense, or you can give the audience a full picture right away. For instance, you could start with a wide shot to set the scene, then move into a close-up to show a character's emotion. Or you might choose to start with a close-up to immerse the audience in a specific moment and then reveal the broader context later. The power to shift perspective lets you tell the story in layers, helping viewers see the narrative the way you want them to. Number 5, editing adds meaning to the story. Editing infuses meaning into the story by connecting scenes and adding emotional depth. Techniques like reaction shots and montages can transform isolated clips into a coherent narrative with significant impact. Here's what I mean. From the diary of a CEO's YouTuber channel, where the editor does a great job.
More powerful than the AIs. The problem is that we are divided against each other, and the algorithms are using our weaknesses against us. And this is very dangerous, because once you believe that people who don't think like you are your enemies, democracy collapses, and then the election becomes like a war. So if something ultimately destroys us, it will be our own delusions, not the AIs.
Editing helps convey the story's essence and emotional weight. The key takeaway is this: editing isn't just about assembling clips. It's about creating a narrative that resonates with the audience. In summary, editing is the heartbeat of storytelling. It turns raw footage into a meaningful narrative that resonates with the audience. Keep the story in mind with every cut and transition. Up next, we'll discuss understanding video formats and choosing the right format for different platforms. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, before we dive back into the course, I just want to take a moment to say thank you for your continued support. Your engagement and feedback mean the world to us. Remember, this course is part of a 7-part series, and we've made the first part completely free for you. We are really looking forward to hearing your thoughts, your feedback, and decide how we move forward with the next parts. We'd love to hear from you, what you liked, what you want more of, and any ideas for improvement. If you're finding value in this course, you can help support the team by liking, subscribing, and using the links throughout the course and below the video. You can also support us through super thanks buttons below this video, which will help us continue creating high quality content for you. Finally, please share this video with anyone you think might benefit from it, your friends, family, or anyone interested in learning video editing. If you're watching this video 3 months after its publication, the entire course is likely available already. Just click the link below this video to access all the lessons, resources, and get started on your video editing journey. Thanks again for your support. Now, let's get back to the video. We are diving into a crucial topic for any video editor: video formats and platforms. Understanding these concepts will not only help you deliver your content effectively, but also ensure it looks its best on every platform. Let's get started. 1, you need to understand different video formats. Video formats dictates how your video files are encoded and stored. Here are the key formats you need to know. MP4 or H.264. This is the most widely used format. It's compatible with almost all devices and platforms due to its balance of quality and file size. MP4 is ideal for online content like YouTube and social media. Next, MOV. Developed by Apple, MOV files offer high quality video but can be larger in size. They are commonly used for professional editing and are compatible with Mac systems. The third one is AVI, a high quality format that retains much of the original footage quality but results in large file sizes. It's less common for web use but can be useful for archiving. Next is MKV format. This format supports high quality video and multiple audio tracks. It's great for large files and high definition content, but it is not universally compatible. Those are the 4 main video formats. We will discuss more about this in Module 5 of this course. Next, let's look at choosing the right format for different platforms. Let's start with YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Vimeo. These platforms, they all prefer MP4 for their quality and file sizes. Aim for 1080p resolution for YouTube and follow platform-specific guidelines for length and resolution on social media. Vimeo supports high definition formats and popular for professional sharing. Third, platform-specific considerations. Different platforms have unique requirements and features. YouTube supports various resolutions from standard definitions SD to 4K. Focus on clear, engaging thumbnails and metadata to improve your video visibility. Let's look at Instagram. Videos on Instagram should be square 1:1 ratio or vertical 4:5 ratios for feed posts. For stories or reels, vertical 9:16 ratio is essential. Now, for Facebook, MP4 is preferred. Ensure your videos are optimized for autoplay without sound to engage viewers immediately. We will go through a deep dive into this in part 2, module 5, under editing for different social media platforms. Fourth is compression and quality. To compress videos without losing quality, match the resolution to the platform guidelines. 1080p for most and 4K for YouTube. In upcoming video, I'll demonstrate how to use Handbrakes, a simple tool for effective video compression. Now, to sum it all up, knowing your video format and how to tailor them for different platforms is key to effective video editing and distribution. Choose the right format to ensure compatibility. Optimize file sizes and meet platform specifications to get the best results. In our next video, we'll delve into free versus paid platform and how to choose the right editing software. We dive into a crucial topic, choosing the right video editing software. With so many options out there, how do you decide which one is the best for you? Let's break it down. First, let's talk about the different types of video editing softwares, free versus paid. Each has its own pros and cons, and understanding them will help you choose the best tool for your needs. Starting with free softwares, these tools are great if you're getting started out or working with a tight budget. Here are a few popular options. DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve offers a robust free version that's packed with professional features including advanced color grading and video editing tools. It's ideal for those who want to dive deep into editing without spending a dime. Filmora. Filmora provides a user-friendly interface and a range of effects and transitions. It's perfect for beginners who want to create polished videos quickly. 3 is Shortcut. Shortcut is an open-source editor with a broad feature set, including support for a wide range of formats. It's a solid choice for those who need flexibility without the cost. Now, let's look into the paid softwares. These tools often come with advanced features, better customer support, and regular updates. Here are some top choices. Number 1 is Adobe Premiere Pro. Adobe Premiere Pro is a professional-grade tool used by filmmakers and content creators worldwide. It offers comprehensive features, including multi-camera editing, advanced color grading, and seamless integration with other Adobe products. Adobe Premiere Pro is the industry standard and most widely used video editing software because of its features and functionality. You can achieve much more with Adobe than any other software in the market. If you want to get started today, click the link below this video and sign up with Adobe. Final Cut Pro. Exclusive to Mac users, Final Cut Pro is known for its speed and efficiency. It's highly regarded for its magnetic timeline and powerful media management and robust performance in handling large projects. The third one is Adobe Premiere Elements. For those who need a simple, more cost-effective version of Premiere Pro, Elements provide essential editing tools with an easier learning curve, making it suitable for hobbyists and beginners. Here's a quick summary of the differences between free and paid software. To sum it up, both free and paid video editing softwares have their strengths and weaknesses. Free tools may be an option if you are tight on budget, but paid tools will get you onto the big table. You can achieve much more with just a few dollars. Congratulations, you're doing an amazing job so far. We've covered a lot of ground together, from understanding what video editing is, exploring different types of video content, and discovering the crucial role of editing in storytelling, to mastering video formats and platforms and picking out the perfect editing software for you. Next up, we're diving into the super exciting part, downloading and installing your very first video editing software. I'll guide you step by step through the installation process, and then we'll take a thrilling walkthrough of the interface. This is where things get real and the fun begins. So buckle up and let's go. We are diving into setting up your very first video editing software. We'll cover downloading, installing, and getting familiar with the basic interface. By the end of this video, you'll be all set to start editing like a pro. Let's get started. First things first, let's download the software. Today, we're focusing on Adobe Premiere Pro, one of the industry top choices. Open your browser and head over to Adobe official website. Or just click the link below this video. When you click on that link, you will be brought into a window like this. Do not worry if it doesn't look exactly the same. They keep changing the interface. Once you're on the site, look for the Premiere Pro section. You'll see options for various plans, including free trial. Click on Start Free Trial or choose a subscription plan that suits your needs. You'll be prompted to sign in or create an Adobe account. Follow the instruction to log in or sign up. After that, the download should start automatically. Depending on your internet speed, this might take a few minutes. Once the download is complete, open the installer file. Follow the on-screen prompts to install Adobe Premiere Pro. This process is straightforward. Just click Next and agree to the terms. During the installation, you might be asked to choose a location on your computer for the program. The default location usually works fine. Once the installation is complete, open Premiere Pro for the first time. Congratulations, you are in. Let's do some basic walkthrough of the interface.
So once Adobe Premiere Pro has finished downloading, you should see the icon on your desktop. But if you don't see the icon of Adobe on your desktop, just go to the search bar on your taskbar right here. Then just search for Adobe. Now when you search for Adobe, it gives you Adobe Premiere Pro, which is the video editing tool, or the Adobe Creative Cloud, just in case you don't see the Adobe Premiere Pro. If you click Adobe Premiere Pro, it takes you directly to the video editing tool. Now, but you can also access the Premiere Pro from the Creative Cloud, because this is where Adobe stores all their things. Once you're here, this is where the tool is. So this is the Premiere Pro PR, Adobe Premiere Pro editing tool. There are these other tools, but for now, let's just focus on the video editing tool right here. So when you click on that, it opens for you the Adobe Premiere Pro video editing tool. Once you're here, just navigate to the top left corner of the tool and then click on New Project, because you'll be doing a new project. Now you can also open projects if you had other projects earlier. But for now, because you're a beginner and you're new to this, just click on New Project, title your project, say First Edit. Give a location to where you want this editing to go to, right? And then just click on Create. Adobe brings you to a window where it shows you some of the files that you might probably be using for your editing. Now, if you don't see this, then just navigate using these buttons on the left. So these buttons on the left are what is your desktop or your PC. Just navigate using these buttons and go to where your media files are. Your video files, audios, your music, whatever, just navigate there. And then you want to select the ones you want to use for editing, right? So I'm just going to select a few like that. And then when you select them, they're also going to arrange themselves and appear right down here. The next thing you want to do is just click on Import. If you don't want to select any media yet, just click on Skip. But you can select right here and just click on Import. Once you click on Import, now this is now the editing window of Adobe Premiere Pro. It's that simple, guys. Now, at first, of course, it looks overwhelming, but I'm going to show you how exactly each and every window is. It's very, very simple. I'm going to break it down for you. But before I break it down, I want to bring to your attention a very, very important button to you right now. That button is on the top right corner of Adobe Premiere Pro, and it's this button right here called Workspaces. This is very key because this one is going to enable you to arrange these workspaces the way you want. If you click on that, it gives you all this. There's the starter workspace, there's the essentials, there's the vertical, there's the learning, there's the assembly, there's the editing, there's the color, there's the effects, audio, all the way down. For the most part, you'll be using the editing version. So just click on edit. When you click on edit, you see it kind of rearranges all these workspaces for you in a way so that you can be able to see things clearly. Now it's not overwhelming anymore, but still I'm going to do a great job to explain for you each and every window. First stuff is the project panel on the bottom left of your window. So this is the project panel right here. Most of the time it should be here, but if you go back and rearrange this workspace, it's probably going to be somewhere else, all right? But if you want to know, it's just really right here, project. So this is a project panel. This is where you're going to have all your imported media, your videos, your audios, and your graphic. Think of it as your digital filing cabinet. To import files, just right click on this and then click on import right here. So when you click on import, it's going to take you to a window where you can select the media that you want to use. So just navigate to where your media is and then click open, and they'll come down right here. The next panel is the timeline panel. So this is the timeline panel, which is mostly located at the bottom. For the most part, it will be located at the bottom. This is where the magic happens. This is where you arrange and edit all your clips. Each track in the timeline represent different layers of your video and audio. So if you want to import anything here, just go back to your project panel and then select that and then drag and drop it right there. So this first layer here is the video layer, and then this layer here is the audio layer. So mostly the audio layers will come down and the video layers will be up. So if you import another video like that, you see now the video will be up, the audio will be down. These two are attached to each other, so they won't leave each other. But in any case, you had an audio recorded somewhere else and then a video recorded somewhere else, you just bring them all together and then make sure you arrange them so that the video and the audio are aligned. We're going to talk more about aligning your video and audio in another video. This is where we do all the cutting, all the trimming, all the deleting of the areas we don't want. We're going to use some buttons which are right here, which I'm going to show you these buttons later. You can always use this bar here to kind of zoom in or zoom out on the timeline. So if you want, for example, to zoom in on that area, just click this button right here and then drag it all the way like that. So if you drag it, you kind of zoom in. Then if you drag it like that, you kind of zoom out. So it makes it easy for you to see exactly what you want to edit. So like this, you can see exactly where you want to edit neatly. If you want to go back just to look at the entire timeline, just drag it back. Just above the timeline is a program monitor right here. The program monitor is where you will preview your edits in real time. You can play, so if you click this button right here, you can play, pause, and scrub through your timeline to see how your video is coming out together. So this is very essential. Anything you do right here, you will always kind of see the effects happening on top right here. For you to do that, drag and drop this bar right here, and then just click on play to see exactly what you are doing. Right here is in program. To the left of the program monitor is the source monitor right here. So this is the source monitor. So in the source monitor, here you can view and trim your clips before adding them to the timeline. You can drag and drop a video right here on the source monitor, and then you can preview this video before you drag it to the timeline. In another video, I'm going to show you how you can select particular clips of this particular video and drag it to your timeline right here. Maybe the video is 50 minutes long, but you only want a 2-minute part of it. You can do that right here on the source panel. Now let's go to the tools button right here. So this is where we have all the tools, okay? In the tools panel is always located somewhere there, and this is where you will find the tools for cutting, moving, and adjusting your clips. Get familiar with these tools as they'll be your go-to for editing tasks. We're going to use a lot of these tools. For example, the razor tool is what you're going to use to cut through our timeline. If you just click on razor tool, then you just use it to cut some particular section of your timeline. It's very, very important. And of course, this is the mouse button. So if you just want to go back to the mouse button, just click on this mouse button. We also have different other tools which we are going to use as we go through the video editing tutorial. And now finally, I want to show you the effects panel. Now using this particular workspace, you're not going to be able to see the effects panel. That's why I said this top right button called workspace is very important. To see the effects panel, I'm just going to click on this, and then I'm going to come down to its effects. When I click on effects, now the effects mostly are always on this side of the window, on the right side of the window. So this is the effects panel. The effects panel is where you will add transitions, effects, and other enhancements to your clips. To do that, just drag effects from this panel into your clips in the timeline to apply. Now you can always drag these buttons the way you want, these edges of this Premiere Pro, so that it makes you easy to see what you want to see most of. So all these edges can be dragged whatever way you want. So we have seen all the panels of Adobe Premiere Pro. The last one here is of course this part, which is the volume part of your project. We're going to talk much more about these parts in our subsequent videos. But in a nutshell, that is how Adobe Premiere Pro is. Right now, you should be familiar with all these panels. So the interface is the same for almost all other video editing software. Once you know the project panel, the source panel, the effects panel, the timeline, it will be the same with almost all other video editing softwares. Here is Filmora, which I've also been using for quite some time, and Filmora is very easy to use, by the way. This is obviously the timeline. So this is where you're going to do all your edits in Filmora. So this is where you're going to get all your edits in Filmora. And then this is the program panel. This is a program panel where you get to preview what you're doing. Now, Filmora doesn't have a source panel, but it has the program panel right here. And you can just click on play button to see everything. This is the media. So right here, it's where you're going to import all the things you want to use in Filmora. And then Filmora also have buttons right here, like for stock media, audio, titles, transition. Then there's the effects button, stickers, and templates. Filmora also have a bar right here. So this strip bar strip right here is where you're going to get the essential tools like for cutting and trimming and things like that. This is where we're going to have it for Filmora. So as you can see, there's a lot of similarities between Filmora and Adobe Premiere Pro. It's almost all the same. Let's look at DaVinci Resolve. So for the DaVinci Resolve, it's all the same. DaVinci Resolve, which is a little bit more complex video editing software, but it's all the same. We have the program monitor, we have the source monitor, we have a timeline right here, we have our audio levels right here, and then we have some effects button right here. And of course, on the top left side is your media. It's all the same with these video editing softwares. We have our tool buttons right here, which you can use to cut, trim, and do whatever you want to do on your timeline. The only difference with these video editing tools is where they place their buttons. For DaVinci Resolve, they have their buttons right here. So these buttons look like this. Let me show you. So down here, we have the buttons right for DaVinci Resolve. Like right now, this is the edit window. They have the media. If you click on that media button, it's the media, the cut, the edit, the fusion, the color, the fair lights, and the delivery. And that's DaVinci Resolve. It is that simple, guys. All these tools are the same. It's just where they place their buttons is that with what matters. At the end of the day, it's all about the timeline. It's all about the program monitor, the source monitor, where you upload your media files, and then maybe some tools that is going to help you to edit your videos. This is CapCut. CapCut is another popular video editing tool, especially for Reels and TikTok videos. Now, if you open CapCut for the first time, you'll be greeted with this window. Now, CapCut, of course, has the program monitor right here where you see your video, and then it has this timeline right here. So this is the timeline for CapCut, and then we have the toolbar right here. The toolbar is right here where you use all your tools. We have other navigational buttons right here, like we have the media. If you want to import media, just click on this button right here. We have templates, elements, audio, text, caption, transitions. They have their effects button right here and the brand kit. On the right side, we also have other more tools to do for more enhancements and editing if you want to use CapCut. If you want to import a video into CapCut, just drag and drop your video onto the program monitor right here, or you can use this button right here and media right here to import your media onto or into CapCut. Due to their similarities, the advantage of knowing one editing tool is that it becomes easier to learn the other. Knowing where everything is will make your editing process smoother and more efficient. And with that, we come to the end of Module 1. Congratulations! In the next video, we'll start importing media and setting up your first project. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, before we dive back into the course, I just want to take a moment to say thank you for your continued support. Your engagement and feedback mean the world to us. Remember, this course is part of a 7-part series, and we've made the first part completely free for you. We are really looking forward to hearing your thoughts, your feedback, and decide how we move forward with the next parts. We'd love to hear from you, what you liked, what you want more of, and any ideas for improvement. If you're finding value in this course, you can help support the team by liking, subscribing, and using the links throughout the course and below the video. You can also support us through super thanks buttons below this video, which will help us continue creating high quality content for you. Finally, please share this video with anyone you think might benefit from it, your friends, family, or anyone interested in learning video editing. If you're watching this video 3 months after its publication, the entire course is likely available already. Just click the link below this video to access all the lessons, resources, and get started on your video editing journey. Thanks again for your support. Now, let's get back to the video. In the first module, we explored different types of video contents and the power of editing and storytelling. We also covered video formats, platforms, and various editing softwares. We wrapped up the module by taking a bold step, downloading and installing Adobe Premiere Pro, the industry's leading tool that will unlock your creative potential. In this video, we'll be diving into one of the fundamental skills in video editing, importing media files into your project. Whether you're working with videos, audios, or graphics, knowing how to effectively bring these elements into your editing software is crucial for a smooth workflow. In video editing, you'll typically work with 3 main types of media: video clips, audio tracks, and graphics. Each of these plays a different role in your project. Let's open Adobe Premiere Pro, which we downloaded and installed earlier. To import video clips, images, or audio tracks, first, of course, we're going to create a new project. We're going to name our project for profit. Name your project appropriately. Then give it a location. I'm just going to leave the location the way it is. I'm going to click OK. And then when you click OK,
Premiere Pro brings you into this window. So here on the left side is the navigation to all your folders on your desktop and in the entire desktop workstation. So you can just navigate to where your audio files or media files are. Click on desktop, and then I'm just going to look for my files. They are right here on this folder. So these are all the files that I want to use for my video editing. Now, for the purpose of this particular video, I'm just going to select a few so that you see how you can import your media into Adobe Premiere Pro. Now, just before I do that, so you can use this button right here to adjust the size of these icons. Like if I drag this circle this way, you see it adjusts the sizes of those particular icons. If I adjust it that way, it reduces the sizes. So I like it small. It's easy for me to see more files at one glance. So to import that, we're just going to select some few audio clips and then maybe some few video clips that we're going to use for this particular illustration. Once I do that, those clips are going to be down here, and I'm going to click this button on the bottom right corner, click import, and then Adobe simply imports all your media files onto your timeline, onto your project panel on the bottom left side. It also gives you some preview of what you have imported. So that is one way of importing your media into Adobe Premiere Pro. The second way of importing your media into Adobe Premiere Pro, let me just delete that so that we see the other way of importing media into Adobe Premiere Pro. Navigate to where your videos are. So my videos are on this folder right here, all my media files, my audio and my videos. Then I'm also going to select few, and then once I select that, just drag and drop them onto your timeline like that. And then keep existing settings. And then like that, you've just imported your media files onto your timeline. The third way of importing media files onto your timeline is coming on the top right side corner of Adobe Premiere Pro. Click on import, and then it brings you to that window which we had, right? So again, here you also just click on select the videos that you want and then click import, right? So those are two different ways to import your media onto Adobe Premiere Pro. The final method is coming here on the top right side, click on File, and then navigate down to where it's written Import. Click on Import, and then look for that folder that has your videos. Mine is right here, and then select the media files that you want to import, and then click Open, and they'll come right here on Adobe Premiere Pro. But as it is right here, it is not organized. There's a lot of disorganization in terms of which video is about what, and which are the audios, which are the videos, which are the which angle of video was this. So we need to organize all this, okay? Organizing these files into bins or folders help keep everything tidy and makes it easy to find what you need as you edit. Trust me, staying organized will save you a ton of time, especially when you're juggling multiple projects or working with a lot of footage. So why is organizing important? Before we start, let me quickly explain why organizing your media is crucial. As you work through more complex projects, you'll have tons of video clips, audio files, images, and maybe even graphics. Without a proper organization system, finding the files you need will be like looking for a needle in a haystack. This slows you down, adds stress, and can even lead to mistakes. Organizing your media upfront not only saves time, but also boosts your creativity by keeping everything easily accessible. So how do you keep things tidy? The answer is creating bins. Bins are folders that help you categorize and organize your media files. Let's walk through the process. First, you want to come to the bottom left side of your Adobe Premiere Pro right here. So this is the list of all those images, graphics, and videos and audios that we imported earlier. But right now, it's just a long list. So we need to organize all this. So how do you do that? Now, to organize all this, you need to create bins. But before you create bins, I just want to show you something. You can always extend this particular project panel like this, just to have a view of everything that you need. You can also just drag and drop this part so that you have a view of everything. You can see it now more clearly. At this stage, it's like a list, right? So you can always have a list. If you click this button right here on the bottom left side, the media files that you imported will be listed to be a listicle. Now, if you want to see maybe icons or at least an overview of what the media files are about, then click this next button here, all right? These are the icon view. So if you click on icon view, you see now it has adjusted. Now I can see clearly, at least it gives me a glimpse of what each file is about, right? So that's what I'm talking about. You can always toggle between this list view and this icon view just to have a better view. Now there's also this another view right here you can also use, but I don't like this one so much. Mostly I just use the list view or the icon view. So now how do you organize this into bins? So there's two ways you can create a bin. You can either right click right here, right click, and then it's written here new bin, right? Click a new bin, it creates a new bin. Or you can come right here on the middle of your Adobe Premiere Pro, and then there is these things that look like a folder, it's a bin. So you click on that, it creates a new bin. You can either click on that or just click on Ctrl+B on Windows or Command+B on Mac, for those who are using Mac for when they're editing their videos, right? So we're just going to create different bins for different media files. So the first one maybe is going to be our audio. Then I'm going to create a new bin. So my second bin here is going to be images. And then I'm going to have a folder for my footage, right? My video footage. The last one I'm going to create is going to be a bin for music, okay? So I have an image bin right here. I have a footage bin right here. I have a music bin and I have an audio bin. Now there's still no content in those bins. So what you want to do is to drag and drop different media files onto different bins. So for example, let's say these are my footage. So I'm just going to click on that command and then just select all this. And then if these are all my footage, I'm just going to drag them onto my footage bin. And then now you can see all those bins have come under my footage, right? You can always click on this button just to minimize that. Now for my images, I want my images to go into this. Somehow Adobe Premiere Pro already knows that these are images. So just highlight those and then drop them onto that image. So right now they're under the bin or folder called image. For music, I'm just going to select this particular music and then drop them onto my music folder right there. Finally, maybe for my images, I have more images right here. So I'm just going to drag and drop these more images right there. And then this is going to be maybe my audio. So I'm going to drop it right there. So now if I minimize this thing, now all of a sudden you see it's well organized. Now I have different folders for images, footage, music, and audio. And that is how you create a good organization as you do your editing. Now once you're done with this, you can always get back and minimize this project panel right to its extreme end right there on the left. You always want to have more space for your timeline, okay? So I just expanded it previously so that I can have a better view of what I'm doing. As you can see, it's now well organized. For larger projects, you can even create nested bins, bins inside other bins. For example, within your footage bin, you could have separate bins for day 1 clips, day 2 clips, or different camera angles like wide shot or close up. So right here, I'm going to click on this new bin. It now creates a new bin, but this new bin is going to be, if you're keen, you're going to see, let me just expand that. This new bin now is under footage, right? Because maybe you went for a trip in Belize, and that particular trip you took videos on different days. So maybe you want to create bins for different days. This is going to help you to edit your videos. So I'm going to say, for example, this is day 1 videos, right? Then you're going to drag and drop your day 1 videos onto that bin, and then I'm just going to select that again. Then I'm going to create another bin for day 2, like that. And then I'm going to create a last bin. Maybe we spent 3 days on Belize, so I'm just going to create day 3. All right, and then I'm going to drag different videos on different days. And now if I minimize that, now you see it's very well arranged and neat. So now I have my footage for day 1, day 2, and day 3. Here are some practical tips when organizing your files. Name files clearly. Use clear and descriptive names for your files so that you know exactly what each one contains and without having to preview it. Keep file types separate. Always organize different types of media into different bins. For example, keep audio files separate from video files to avoid confusion. Use colors. Adobe Premiere Pro allows you to color code clips and bins. This is another great way to differentiate between different types of media at a glance. And that's it. Organizing your media and creating bins may seem like a small step, but it's going to make a world of difference as you progress in your editing journey. With everything in place, you'll be able to focus on your creativity instead of wasting time hunting down files. Quick reminder guys, don't miss out. Make sure to sign up for the waiting list to be the first to know when the full course is released. Here is the exciting part. For a limited time, we'll be randomly selecting 2 lucky winners every month to receive full access of the entire course for free, along with all the valuable resources that come with it. Exciting, right? This is a chance to get ahead. So if you want to be part of this exciting opportunity, comment "I want the course" below. Go ahead, join the waiting list now for exclusive content and early access when the full course comes out. The link to joining the waiting list is right below this video. Finally, we have created a dedicated resource center where you can find all the resources and materials plus free downloadables mentioned throughout this course. Okay, back to the course. We are going to get right into something crucial for every video editing project: setting up a new project in Adobe Premiere Pro. Whether you are editing a vlog, a short film, or a client work, getting your project setting right from the start will save you time and headaches later on. So to do that, you want to open Adobe Premiere Pro. When you open Adobe Premiere Pro, you'll be greeted with this home screen. On this home screen, on the top right side, we have a new project and an open project. So open project means a project which already exists. A new project means you're starting a new project, right? So click on starting a new brand project. Now you want to give your project an appropriate name because you don't want 10 files or 10 projects called and titled, right? So give it appropriate name, like for example, clients vlog 2025, something like that, okay? Actually give it a specific date. You can say something like April 2025, and then give it a location. Now you should have created some folders before on your desktop where you're going to put all your work, right? So for me, I already did that. So this is my location, and then other template, just leave it as none, and then click create, and that's it. Now when you click create, you'll be greeted with this window. Now this window, of course, this is your folder on your desktop. So if you look at the left side of this window, we have the navigational buttons as they appear on your Windows or Mac desktop. You can just navigate to where your folders are on your desktop, and then you highlight or select the ones you want. And then on the bottom right side, just click on import to import those particular files. So once you do that, you'll be greeted with this next window, which is where you do all the editing. We already talked about all this in our introductory part, so you can go and watch that video if you did not. Now let's talk about scratch disks. These are temporary storage locations where Premiere Pro previews, autosaves, and auto-cache. You can either leave these settings as they are, same as project, which means all these files will be saved in the project folder, or you can direct them to another drive if you want to keep things even more organized. Now, before we hit OK, let's check out some basic settings like your resolution and frames per second. If you're creating content for YouTube or social media, 1080p at 30 frames per second is good standard. But if you're working with a cinematic or a 4K footage, you might need to adjust the settings. If you happen to start your projects without doing the settings, you can always do that later. More on these settings, we will go through them in part 3 under finalizing and exporting your project. Once you've set up your project, you are ready to go. You can now import your media, which we have seen how to do in the previous video. And that's it. Now you know how to start a new project in Adobe Premiere Pro, customizing your settings and keeping things organized from the very beginning. Remember, setting up your project correctly will save you tons of time as you start editing. Next up, let's look at how to set up your timeline and arrange sequences for a smoother workflow. Having a well-organized timeline can make or break your editing workflow. That is why in this video, we'll dive into the core of any video editing project, the timeline and the sequence setup. This is where all your footage comes together. Step 1. Understanding the timeline and sequence. A sequence in Premiere Pro is essentially the canvas where you place your media for editing. It's where you will assemble your clips, audio, and effects. And the timeline is your workspace, where you'll organize these elements in a linear fashion. Think of it as your editing timeline, a visual map of your project. To start, let's create a new sequence. Head to File, then New, then Sequence, or simply press Ctrl+N on your keyboard. You'll be prompted with several presets based on the type of footage you are using. This is important because you want your sequence settings to match the resolution and frame rate of your media. If you're working with 1080p footage at 30 frames per second, select the process that matches these settings. However, if you're working with 4K or other formats, choose accordingly. You can always adjust these settings later, but it's best to start with the correct format. Now that we have a sequence, let's set up our timeline. The timeline consists of several tracks, both video and audio tracks. These tracks works like layers. So the top layer will appear over the bottom layer when played back. You can have multiple videos and audio tracks depending on the complexity of your project. I like to keep things organized by placing different types of contents on different layers. Using our previous imported media, I keep my main footage on track 1, B-roll on track 2, and text or effects on track 3. For audio, I place my main audio on audio track 1 and background music on audio track 2. To ensure a smoother workflow, it's essential to stay organized. One way to do this is by breaking down your project into different sequences. For example, if you're editing a short film, you might create one sequence for each scene. You can also color code clips so you know exactly what they are at a glance. Simply right-click on the clip and select Label to apply a color. This is especially helpful when working with a lot of media files. Once your timeline is set up, preview your work to see how everything flows. Make adjustments as needed by trimming clips, rearranging them, or adding transitions. A well-organized timeline allows you to make quick changes and keep the editing process efficient. And that's a quick overview of how to set up your timeline and arrange your sequence for a smoother workflow. As you become more comfortable with Premiere Pro, this will become your second nature. Stay organized, label your clips, and you will find that editing becomes a lot more fun and efficient. And that marks the end of this module. We have learned how to import and organize media files, set up new projects, and work on sequences and timeline. In the next video, we'll dive into editing basics, cutting, trimming, and splitting. See you there. We're tackling one of the core fundamentals of video editing, cutting and trimming your clips. This is a backbone of refining any project, whether it's a short video for social media or a full-length documentary. Cutting and trimming helps you remove unnecessary parts, such as long pauses, focus on key moments, and shape the flow of your story. Cutting and trimming will take up a significant portion of your editing time, as you'll need to work through the entire timeline. For instance, you might start with a 20-minute video, but after trimming, you'll be left with a 10-minute video. Cutting and trimming are essential techniques you will use in nearly every video editing project. But what's the difference between the two? Let's start with cutting. This involves removing parts of your video entirely. Maybe there's a long pause, an awkward take, or an unnecessary shot. Cutting helps streamline your footage, leaving only the most important elements. Trimming is all about adjusting the start and end points of your clips. Instead of deleting entire section, you fine-tune the timing to make sure each shot flows seamlessly into the next. Here is how you can do this in Adobe Premiere Pro. Follow along with me. Drag and drop the video clip you want to edit into the timeline. Use the razor tool C on your keyboard to cut your clip at specific points. Simply click where you want to make the cut, and Premiere Pro will split your clips into separate sections. This is great for removing parts in the middle of your footage, like awkward pauses or mistakes that you do not want to see. To trim your clip, switch to the selection tool, V on your keyboard, hover over the edge of your clip, and you'll see a red bracket appear. Simply click and drag to adjust the start or end points of the clip. This helps you to trim out unnecessary sections at the beginning or at the end of your clip. Want to speed things up? Use the Ripple Edit tool, B on your keyboard, to trim a clip and automatically shift the rest of your timeline to close the gap. No need to drag everything manually. Here are a few key tips to make your cuts and trims look professional. Cut on action. When possible, make your cuts during moments of movement. For example, if someone is walking, cut mid-stride to make the transition smoother and more natural. Keep pacing in mind. The pacing of your cuts affects how your story flows. Fast cuts creates energy and excitement, while slower cuts can add drama or tension. Be mindful of the rhythm you are creating. Trim excessive footage. Avoid unnecessary intros or long pauses. Keep your content focused and engaging by trimming out anything that doesn't add value to the story. Here is what to watch out for. Avoid jarring cuts. If you cut between two very different shots, it can feel unnatural. Always aim for smooth transitions by cutting on similar movements or using transitions if necessary. Be careful not to trim too much. You don't want to lose essential parts of your footage. Watch through your edits to make sure nothing important gets left behind. Here is me cutting and trimming clips in my timeline. Coming up, we'll be covering how to split and rearrange clips on your timeline. In this video, we are going to dive into another fundamental editing skill, splitting and rearranging clips on the timeline. This is where the magic of storytelling really comes alive as you piece together your clips to create a cohesive flow. Let's first talk about why splitting and rearranging clips is so important. When you're working on a video project, you won't necessarily use all your footage as is. Sometimes you will need to split long clips into smaller segments and then rearrange them to tell the story in the best possible way. Splitting means cutting your clips into smaller parts. It's useful when you want to remove unnecessary segments or isolate key moments. Once your clips are split, you can move them around on the timeline to structure the sequence in a way that makes sense narratively. Here is a step-by-step guide to splitting your clips in Adobe Premiere Pro. First, drag your clip from the media bin into the timeline. Choose the razor tool. You will need the razor tool C on your keyboard to split the clip. Simply click where you want to make the cut. This divides the clip into two parts. You can zoom in on the timeline. Use the plus key to ensure precision in your cuts, especially when you're dealing with moments that need to be timed perfectly. This is a quick and easy way to break down long footage into smaller, more manageable pieces. Now that you've split your clips, it's time to rearrange them to create the perfect flow. Use the selection tool V on your keyboard to click on any split clip. Simply click and drag the clip to a new location on the timeline. Premiere Pro will snap the clip into place between other clips, like this. If you're moving clips and there's an empty space left behind, right-click on the gap and choose Ripple Delete to automatically close the gap. This saves time and keeps your timeline tidy. We'll look more into ripple edits in the next video. Here are some tips to take your editing skills to the next level. Cut on natural pauses. When splitting dialogues or scenes, always cut on natural pauses or between sentences. This makes transition less jarring. Watch your flow. After rearranging, play back your timeline to ensure everything flows well. Sometimes you will need to adjust further or even undo a rearrangement. Duplicate clips for safety. If you're unsure about splitting a clip, you want to duplicate it first. That is Command plus C or Command plus V on Mac or Control plus C or Control plus V on Windows and work on the copy. Splitting and rearranging clips is foundational skill that allows you to shape your video to perfection. Keep practicing and soon you will be editing like a pro. Now, let's look more into ripple and roll edits. These advanced cutting methods will help you make precise adjustments to your video, ensuring your edits are smooth and your storytelling is on point. A ripple edit allows you to trim a clip and automatically adjust the rest of the timeline to fill the gap or shift forward to accommodate the change. This is perfect for tightening up scenes without leaving empty spaces. With the roll edits, you are adjusting the boundary between two clips. You are shortening one clip while extending the adjacent one. But the total duration remains the same. It's like fine-tuning the transition point between clips. These techniques are essential for refining edits quickly and maintaining continuity. Let's go step by step on how to execute a ripple edit in Adobe Premiere Pro. So first, you want to drag and drop your video on the timeline. Choose the ripple edit tool from the toolbar or press B on your keyboard. Click on the end of the clip you want to trim and drag it to the left or right. You will see the adjacent clips automatically shift to fill the space or adjust the gap. And as usual, always play back your timeline to see how the edit affects the flow of your video. Ripple edits are great for speeding up a slow sequence or tightening up conversations. Let's talk about roll edits, which are perfect when you need to adjust the cut points between two clips without altering the timeline's total length. Drag any two video clips into the timeline. Access the rolling edit tool by clicking it in the toolbar or press N on your keyboard. Hover between two clips in the timeline. When you see the red rolling edit icon, click and drag to adjust in and out points simultaneously. One clip will be shortened while the other is extended. The roll edit is excellent for refining transitions, such as adjusting the timing of a conversation or action scene without throwing off the overall flow. Here are some tips to help you master these advanced cutting techniques. Trim in small increments. When using these tools, trim in small increments and preview the results. Small adjustments can make a big difference in the flow of your video. Undo is your friend. Don't hesitate to use the undo function, Ctrl+Z or Command+Z on Mac if an edit doesn't look right. You can always tweak and perfect your cuts. Congratulations, you've just mastered one of the most time-consuming aspects of video editing. Now, we are moving into the fun part, where your creativity shines and you craft a compelling story. In the next video, we'll dive into the exciting process of polishing your edits by adding basic transitions to your video. Hey everyone, before we dive back into the course, I just want to take a moment to say thank you for your continued support. Your engagement and feedback mean the world to us. Remember, this course is part of a 7-part series, and we've made the first part completely free for you. We are really looking forward to hearing your thoughts, your feedback, and decide how we move forward with the next parts. We'd love to hear from you, what you liked, what you want more of, and any ideas for improvement. If you're finding value in this course, you can help support the team by liking, subscribing, and using the links throughout the course and below the video. You can also support us through super thanks buttons below this video, which will help us continue creating high quality content for you. Finally, please share this video with anyone you think might benefit from it, your friends, family, or anyone interested in learning video editing. If you're watching this video 3 months after its publication, the entire course is likely available already. Just click the link below this video to access all the lessons, resources, and get started on your video editing journey. Thanks again for your support. Now, let's get back to the video. Transitions. Specifically, we'll be focusing on 2 key transitions, cuts and fades. These are simple yet powerful tools that can significantly change your storytelling and improve the flow of your videos. Let's get started. So what are transitions? Before we jump into applying them, let's define what transitions are. Transitions are techniques used to move smoothly from one shot to the next. They help your video flow seamlessly and keep your audience engaged. There are many transitions available in editing softwares, but for this video, we'll focus on the most essential and widely used transitions, which is cuts and fades. Let's start with the most basic and often most effective transition, the cut. Cuts are instantaneous changes from one clip to the next. They don't use any special effects. They are powerful because they maintain the pace and the rhythm of your video. Cuts are especially useful for keeping a fast tempo or sharp transition between the scenes. Here is how you apply cuts in Adobe Premiere Pro. Drag a clip to the timeline. Make sure your clips are aligned on the timeline, one after the other. A cut happens naturally between the end of one clip and the beginning of the next. Trim and adjust. Use the razor tool C on your keyboard to make precise cuts if you need to remove any unwanted parts of your clips. This tool allows you to control where exactly your cuts occur. Once your clips are in place, simply hit play to preview the cut transition. If the cuts feel too abrupt, don't worry. We'll discuss how to smooth things out with fades next. Now, let's talk about fades, which are perfect for giving your videos more polished and cinematic feel. Fades gradually transition between two clips by blending one out and the other in. There are two common types of fades, fade in or out and crossfade. Let's start with fade in or out. This transition starts and ends a scene by gradually fading the footage from or into black. It's often used to opening or closing a video. Crossfades or dissolve blend two clips together. One image gradually disappears as the other comes into view. Here's how to apply fades in Premiere Pro. Select the clip you want to fade in or out. Right-click and select Apply Default Transition, or go to the Effects panel. Search for the Deep to Black transition. Then drag and drop it into the start or end of your clip. Adjust the length of the fade by dragging the edge of the transition to control how quickly or slowly the fade occurs. To create a crossfade, go to the Effects panel and find Cross Dissolve. Drag and drop it between two clips on your timeline. Adjust the transition length by extending or shortening the dissolve effect to control how gradually the fade is. Play back to preview your edit. Now the cut does not feel abrupt. It feels smooth. While cuts and fades are simple transitions, how you use them can make or break your video. Use cuts for fast pacing. When you want to keep the energy high or create an abrupt shift in tone or scene, cuts are your best friend. They help maintain momentum and work well in action sequences, interviews, and fast-paced edits. Use fades for emotional impact. Fades are perfect for transition in emotional or reflective scenes. They give your audience a moment to process and can significantly change in time or setting without being too jarring. Don't overuse fades. While fades are effective, be careful not to overuse them. Too many fades can slow down your video and make it feel less dynamic. Now that you know how to apply cuts and fades, experiment with them in your next project and see how they can improve the flow and feel of your video. Our job is not done yet. Stay tuned for the next lesson, where we'll dive into adding music and sound effects to match your visuals. Welcome back. In the previous module, we polished using basic editing techniques like cut and trim. In this video, we're diving into an essential part of video editing, working with audio. We're going to cover how to import audio tracks into your project and some basic editing techniques. Whether you're using voiceovers, sound effects, or background music, clean and well-edited audio is key to creating a professional video. Let's get started. First, we need to import the audio files you will be working with. This could be music, voiceovers, or sound effects. So open Adobe Premiere Pro and navigate to your project panel where all your media will be stored. To import audio files, click on the file, then import, or use the shortcut Ctrl+I. Select the audio files from your computer that you want to use in your project, whether they are music tracks, voiceover recordings, or sound effects. Or simply drag and drop your audio files into your project. Once imported, organize your audio files into a bin or a folder, just like you did with your video files. This helps keep your workspace clean and makes it easier to locate files during editing. Now that your audio is imported, let's add it to the timeline for editing. Locate your audio files in the project panel and simply drag it onto the audio track in the timeline. Premiere Pro typically labels the audio tracks starting with A1, A2, A3, and so on. Make sure your audio is placed where it matches your video content. You can zoom in on the timeline or to ensure precise placements. Now that your audio is on the timeline, let's go through some basic editing techniques to enhance your sound. Similar to trimming videos, you can use the razor tool, press C, to cut unwanted parts of the audio clip, like this. This is especially useful for trimming pauses or unnecessary noises at the beginning or end of the voice-over. For a smooth transition, you'll want to fade your audio in and out. Right-click on the audio clip, go to Apply Default Transition, or manually create fades by adding keyframes in the Effect Controls panel. A simple constant power effect will create a gradual fade, preventing abrupt starts and stops. To increase or decrease the volume, select the audio clips and use the Effects Control panel to adjust the level slider. You can also adjust the volume directly on the timeline by dragging the horizontal line running through the audio clip up or down. Make sure your audio isn't too loud or too soft compared to your video. You can check this by using the audio meter on the side of your timeline. Aim for audio levels that peak around -6 dB to -12 dB for good balance. Syncing your audio and video is crucial for professional look, especially if you are adding a voiceover or sound effects. If your audio and video were recorded separately, you can sync them manually by using visual cues like claps or mouth movements. Zoom into the timeline. Line up the peaks of your audio waveform with the action in the video and adjust accordingly. Adobe Premiere Pro also has an automated syncing tool. Simply highlight the video and audio clips, right-click and select Synchronize. Premiere Pro will automatically align the audio and video based on matching audio waveforms. Good audio editing doesn't stop at cutting and trimming. Let's look at some ways to improve your audio quality. Sometimes your audio may have unwanted background noise or hums. To remove the noise, use the denoise effect from the effects panel. Drag the effect onto your audio clip and adjust the settings in the effect controls. What if you want to boost certain frequencies like emphasizing vocals or reducing harsh tones? To do that, use parametric equalizer tool. This tool allows you to enhance the clarity of voiceovers or music by adjusting frequencies using parametric equalizer. Before we wrap up, here are a few final tips to keep in mind when working with audio. Use headphones. Always edit audio using headphones or good quality speakers to catch any unwanted sounds or audio imbalances that may be missed through regular computer speakers. Watch the peaks. Avoid letting your audio levels go into the red above 0 dB, as this will cause distortions. Use the audio meter to make sure your levels are well balanced. Mix it right. Balance background music with dialogue. Use lower levels for music during speaking parts and bring it up during quieter moments. And that's it. You've now learned how to import, organize, and edit your audio in Premiere Pro. Clean audio is just as important as crisp visuals. And with these skills, you're well on your way to producing professional quality videos. In our next video, we'll dive into syncing audio with video and adjusting volume. So stay tuned. In today's session, we're going to talk about adding sound effects to enhance your video edits. Sound effects are one of the quickest ways to bring your scenes to life and add that extra layer of immersion into your content. The first step is to find the right sound effects for your video. Whether it's the sound of birds chirping, a door closing, or subtle background ambience, your goal is to match the audio to the visual action. Websites like freesound.org, Epidemic Sounds, and Artlist.io offer a wide variety of sound effects, both free and paid. For all my audio needs, I like Epidemic Sounds or Artlist. I've been using Epidemic Sounds for some time now, and I must say they have a great collection of all the audio you will ever need. I will leave links to Epidemic Sound and Artlist below if you want to get started today. I will also leave links to some free audio websites, but be careful with these free websites because you may just get a copyright strike. In addition, I will give you access to most common sound effects that you will almost always use in your editing. Sound effects like whoosh, alarm clock, camera shutter, mouse click, pop, and many more. Adobe Premiere Pro also gives you access to thousands of free sound effects. That's why I love it. Once you have your sound effects downloaded, the next step is to bring them into Adobe Premiere Pro. Here's how you do that. Go to the project panel, right-click and select Import. Choose the sound effects from your saved location. Organize these files into a folder labeled Sound Effects to keep your workspace tidy. Now that your sound effects are imported, let's add them to your timeline. Simply drag and drop the sound effects into an audio track below your video clips. It is important to sync them precisely to the visual action. For example, if you have a scene where someone closes a door, the sound effect should match that moment exactly on the timeline. Do not be hesitant. Have fun experimenting with different sound effects. So once you've placed your sound effects, it's crucial to adjust the volume to balance it with the rest of your audio. You don't want sound effects overpowering your voiceover or background music. To adjust your volume and balance your sound effects with your main audio, it is the same way like we did in the previous video. Select the sound effects and use the effects control panel to adjust the level slider. You can also adjust the volume directly on the timeline by dragging the horizontal line running through the sound effects up or down. To create smoother transitions between your sound effects and other audio, you can add fade-ins and fade-outs. This is especially useful for the background ambience or for creating a smooth exit from an effect. Simply right-click the edge of your sound effect clip, select Apply Default Transition, or manually add a crossfade. Adding sound effects is a powerful way to elevate the quality of your video, making them more engaging and immersive. Remember to always sync your effects with the action on the screen. Balance the audio levels and use fades where necessary for smooth transitions. And that's it. Congratulations. Now you know all about sound effects and your project is done. Coming up, we are going to learn the best setting to save and export your video. You do not want to miss this. Quick reminder guys, don't miss out. Make sure to sign up for the waiting list to be the first to know when the full course is released. Here is the exciting part. For a limited time, we'll be randomly selecting 2 lucky winners every month to receive full access of the entire course for free, along with all the valuable resources that come with it. Exciting, right? This is a chance to get ahead. So if you want to be part of this exciting opportunity, comment "I want the course" below. Go ahead, join the waiting list now for exclusive content and early access when the full course comes up. The link to joining the waiting list is right below this video. Finally, we have created a dedicated resource center where you can find all the resources and materials plus free downloadables mentioned throughout this course. Okay, back to the course. Hi everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to demonstrate how to save your work in video editing and how to export your final projects for YouTube and social media platforms. These are essential steps in your editing journey to make sure you never lose your hard work and that your videos look great online. Let's dive in. We've all been there, working on a project for hours and suddenly a crash or a power outage wipes out everything. It just happened right now as I was shooting this video. That's why saving your project frequently is a habit you need to develop early. In video editing, projects can become complex with many layers of media and effects. So saving often will keep you safe from unexpected data loss. Let's take a quick look at how to save your project in Adobe Premiere Pro. It's simple. Go to the top left of the screen, click on File and select Save, or just use the shortcut Ctrl+S on Windows or Command+S on Mac. Premiere Pro has a great feature called autosave. This automatically saves your work at regular intervals. So even if you forget, Premiere Pro got your back. To enable autosave, go to Edits, Preferences, then Autosave. Make sure the option is checked and choose how often you like to save your work. For example, every 10 minutes, right? One more tip. When saving a project, keep your files organized. Create specific folders for your video clips, audio, and project files, so everything is easy to find later. You can even name your project versions, e.g. Project 1, Project 2, etc. to track changes. Once you've saved your projects, it's time to export it. Let's focus on exporting for online platforms like YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Export settings can make or break your video quality, so it's important to choose the right ones. Here is a step-by-step process of exporting in Adobe Premiere Pro. Go to File, then Export, then Media. This will open the export setting window. First, choose your format. For most platforms like YouTube, MP4 is the standard format. It gives you a good balance between quality and file size. Now, let's talk about resolution. For YouTube, the standard resolution is 1920 by 1080p. If your video is in 4K, you can also export in 3840 or 2160p, that is 4K. But keep in mind that larger files take longer to upload. So set your frame rate to match your footage, which is typically 24 or 30 frames per second for online platforms. For bitrate settings, YouTube recommends 8 megapixel Mbps for 1080p videos and 35 to 45 Mbps for 4K. This ensures your video looks good without bloating the file size. But do not worry about these settings. Most video editing tools will have all this already set, so you'll only need to choose the video format, which in most cases you will go with MP4. If you're exporting for Instagram or Facebook, choose a square 1080 by 1080p or vertical 1080 by 1920p resolution. Also, keep the bitrate lower, around 4 to 6 Mbps, to maintain decent quality but keep the file size manageable for fast uploading. Once your settings are ready, click Export and Premiere Pro will render your video. That's it! Your video is now ready for upload to YouTube, Facebook, or Instagram. By saving your work, you are ensuring you never lose work done. What about uploading your video on online platform? In the next video, I'm going to show you how to upload your video on YouTube and Vimeo. In this quick video, I'm going to show you how to share your video online. We'll cover how to upload to popular platforms like YouTube, Vimeo, and social media platforms, as well as how to optimize your video for faster playback. Let's get started. First, let's talk about uploading to YouTube. Once your video is exported and saved, head over to YouTube and click the upload button at the top of the screen. Choose your file and fill out the important details like the title, description, and the tags. Pro tip here, guys. Write a clear, engaging description and add relevant tags to help your video get discovered by many viewers. Next up is Vimeo. The process is quite similar. Click the upload button, select your file, and add your title and description. Vimeo has some advanced settings, so if you're going for a more polished or private audience, Vimeo is a great option. Once your video is uploaded, both YouTube and Vimeo will provide you with a shareable link. You can copy and paste this link to share on platforms like Facebook, Twitter, or even through email. Pro tip here, guys. Always include a short caption or call to action when sharing a video link to increase engagement. Embedding videos. If you want to embed your videos on a website or blog, both YouTube and Vimeo provides an embed code. Click the share button on YouTube or Vimeo, then select the embed option, copy the code, and paste it onto your website HTML to embed the video directly onto your site. To ensure your video plays smoothly online, make sure you've compressed your file before uploading. Use softwares like Handbrake to reduce file size while maintaining quality. This will help your video load faster on all devices, especially on mobile. To do this, first you need to download Handbrake. I will leave links to Handbrakes below. It's a completely free tool to use. Download and install Handbrake by following the steps. Once done, open Handbrake, then drag and drop your video to it. Select a folder to download your compressed video and click this button. Handbrake will compress for you your video for faster playback. And that is how you share your video online. Whether you're uploading to YouTube or Vimeo, sharing on social media, or embedding it on your website, these steps will help get your video out there quickly and efficiently. Now, let's explore how you can start setting yourself up to earn money as a video editor. In this section, we are going to do an introduction into one of the most exciting parts of this course, freelancing and finding work on job boards. This will be just a fraction, a tip of the iceberg of what we will cover later when the full course comes out. In the full course, we'll take a deep dive into how to consistently get paying clients and grow your business. We'll cover topics like pricing your services, finding high-paying clients, and scaling your video editing business. To get early access to this and much more, click the link below and join the waiting list today. In the meantime, there's a world of opportunity awaiting for you, and I'm going to show you how you can start making money by editing videos through some of the most popular freelancing platforms. Whether you want to earn part-time or build a full-time career, these sites can open doors for you to access clients from all over the world. Freelancing gives you the freedom to work for yourself, to choose your own projects, and to set your own rates. Imagine working with clients across the globe from anywhere. Whether you're editing social media clips, wedding videos, or corporate content, freelancing allows you to build a career or a side income on your own terms. Let's take a look at some of the best websites where you can start making money as a video editor. These platforms are filled with clients looking for your skills. First up, Upwork. Upwork is one of the largest freelancing platforms we know. With thousands of job listings for video editing, you can find short-term gigs or long-term projects, working with businesses, content creators, and entrepreneurs. To get started with Upwork, use the link below and sign up today. Here are quick steps to get you kicked off with Upwork. Step 1. Create a strong profile that highlights your skills and includes your portfolio. Check out this profile. Looks awesome, right? Your job is to draw inspiration from profiles like this and use them to make your own. Step 2. Once you set up your winning profile and portfolio, browse through video editing job posting. Many clients post requests for editing YouTube videos, social media content, or even full-length films. For example, on the search bar, you can type YouTube video editing. Click enter, and just like that, Upwork gives you all these job postings are waiting for you. You can even go ahead and filter on the left side. Lastly, you want to write and submit proposals for the jobs you are interested in. Do not worry if you do not know how to do this. We will show you how to do all this in the upcoming course. In the meantime, remember to keep your rates competitive as a beginner to land your first few clients and build up your reviews. Upwork is a great platform because it gives you access to a wide variety of clients, from startups to big corporations. The more experience and good reviews you get, the more you can charge. We'll dive deeper into Upwork in the upcoming full course. Second website is Fiverr, a platform where freelancers offer services starting at $5. But don't be fooled by that rate. Many video editors on Fiverr earn hundreds or even thousands of dollars per project. Personally, I have spent thousands of dollars on Fiverr working with different professionals and on different projects. Previously, I have worked with several video editors from this platform. Here are quick steps to get you started with Fiverr. Step 1. Set up your gig, which is basically an ad for your services. You can offer different packages like basic editing, advanced transitions, or color grading. Here's an example of a winning profile or gig. Again, you want to piggyback on other people's profile and add setup. Step 2. Clients browse Fiverr and select the gig that best matches their needs. When they choose your service, you get a notification and can begin the project. Step 3. Over time, you can increase your prices and even offer premium packages for higher paying clients. Fiverr is ideal for beginners because it allows you to get started right away. Plus, you have control over what services you offer and at what price. Platform number 3, Freelancer website. Another great site is Freelancer.com. It works similarly to Upwork. You create a profile, bid on a project, and work directly with clients. One cool feature is that Freelancer has contests where clients offer a reward for the best video submission. It is a great way to showcase your skills and potentially win some big payouts. Here are quick steps to get you started with Freelancer today. Step 1, sign up, create your profile, and start bidding on jobs. Step 2, join video editing contests to get your work in front of more potential clients. Step 3, build your reputation by completing projects and getting positive reviews. Freelancer.com is a good option if you like a bit of competition. The contests can be a fun way to challenge yourself and even earn some money in the process. These are just 3 options to get you started. I've got plenty more coming up in part 4 of this course. Now that you know where to find clients, let's talk about how to stand out and start landing gigs. Build an impressive profile. Your profile is the first thing clients see. Make sure it's professional, highlight your skills, and include a portfolio of your best work. If you don't have clients' work yet, use personal projects to create mock videos to showcase your abilities. Start small and grow. When you're starting out, be willing to take smaller jobs or charge lower rates to build up your reviews. As you gain more experience and positive feedback, you can gradually increase your rates. Then submit thoughtful proposals. When bidding for projects, don't just send a generic message. Tailor each proposal to the client's needs and explain how you can help them achieve their visions. This personalized approach can make you stand out from other freelancers. Always deliver top quality work when you land a gig. Trust me, I've worked with several video editors and many don't quite hit the mark despite charging high prices. This means competition isn't as tough as you might think. With just a little extra effort, if you can constantly produce high quality videos that make your clients proud, you can easily stand out from the crowd. Think about it. Within a few days, you could be earning money from clients around the world, right from your laptop. These freelancing platforms are your gateway to a flexible, rewarding career in video editing. You are not just limited to one location or company. The possibilities are endless. With the growing demand for video content on social media, YouTube, and beyond, there's never been a better time to be a video editor. Whether you're looking to make some extra cash on the side or build a full-time business, these platforms give you the tools and the opportunities to make that happen. That's it. Start exploring these freelancing platforms and take your first step towards earning money as a video editor today. You've officially completed the first part of this 7-part digital course on video editing. This part of the course was made completely free thanks to your continued support through the super thanks button below this video. Take a moment to appreciate just how much you've learned in a short amount of time. What you've achieved is huge. Demand for video editors is soaring, with the global video editing software market set to grow by over $500 million in the next few years. By completing this first part, you are ahead of the game, building skills for an in-demand and rewarding career, something many people don't have the time or dedication to accomplish. Remember, this is just the beginning. In the upcoming full course, we'll dive into Part 2, Advanced Editing Techniques. In this part, we'll take your editing to the next level. In Part 3, we'll be finalizing and exporting your video. Here, we'll learn how to deliver high-quality finished products. In Part 4, we'll teach you how to promote your video. We'll help you to master the art of video promotion for maximum impact. In Part 5, we'll talk about how to make money as a video editor. This is the most exciting part, where we'll discuss how to turn your skills into a source of income. And in Part 6, we'll be talking about mastering AI-driven video editing. We'll unlock the power of AI for cutting-edge video production. And finally, in Part 7, we'll take you through production and workflow optimization. Here, we'll help you streamline your process and maximize efficiency for a faster, flawless video editing. But before we release the full course, we really need your feedback. Your thoughts will help us improve and continue delivering value to you. Let us know what you think about this first part, your feedback, and decide how we move forward with the next parts. We'll love to hear from you, what you liked, what you want more of, and any ideas for improvement. Quick reminder, don't miss out. Make sure to sign up for the waiting list to be the first to know when the full course is released. Here's the exciting part. For a limited time, we'll be randomly selecting 2 lucky winners every month to receive full access to this entire course for free, along with all the valuable resources that come with it. This is a chance to get ahead. So if you want to be part of this exclusive opportunity, comment "I want the course" below. Go ahead, join the waiting list now for exclusive content and early access when the full course comes up. The link to join the waiting list is right below this video. Finally, please share this video with anyone you think might benefit from it, your friends, family, or anyone interested in learning video editing. If you're watching this video 3 months after its publication, the entire course is likely available already. Just click the link below this video to access all the lessons, resources, and get started on your video editing journey. Thanks again for your support. We can't wait to see you in the next part of this journey. Stay creative, and we'll see you soon.